Unacademy. Let's crack it.
My friends, take a close look at the map on the screen. This map shows the 16 great kingdoms of ancient India, known as the Mahajanapadas, from about 2500 years ago. For example, there is Ashoka's Magad, Shakuni Mama's Gandhara, and Lord Mahavira's Vajji. But did you know, one of these kingdoms, Avanti, had not just one but two capitals, Ujjain in the north and Mahishmati in the south. Just like Avanti, many other countries today have two or more capitals. For example, the Netherlands has Amsterdam and The Hague. Similarly, South Africa is unique with three capitals: legislative capital, Cape Town; administrative capital, Pretoria; and the judicial capital, Bloemfontein. If we talk about India, there is a unique case where two neighboring states have shared the same city as their common capital for the past 6 decades. Yes, you guessed it right. It's Chandigarh, which has been acting as the common capital for Punjab and Haryana since 1966. But what if I told you that on the coming 3rd of June, there will be a state in our country that might not have its capital? We are talking about Andhra Pradesh, known as the Kohinoor of India, which might soon become a capital-less state. What's the whole story behind this? Let's find out. Friends, Andhra Pradesh as a state came into existence when, after independence, the Telugu-speaking population in Madras demanded separation from the Tamil-speaking population. After many revolts, protests, and hunger strikes, the Jawaharlal Nehru government finally accepted this demand, leading to the emergence of Andhra Pradesh in 1953. Remember the sacrifices of Poti Sriramalu, who went on fast unto death, ultimately lost his life. But then Andhra Pradesh emerged as the first linguistic state to be carved out in independent India. However, within a few years, allegations of unequal distribution of development and resources and socio-cultural inequalities led to revolts and protests in the newly formed Andhra, which continued for many years. Finally, the Andhra Pradesh Reorganisation Act was passed by Indian Parliament in 2014, bifurcating Andhra into Andhra Pradesh and Telangana. The region, formed by merging 10 districts, including Adilabad, Karimnagar, Medak, Nizamabad, Warangal, Rangareddy, Nalgonda, Mahbubnagar, Khammam, and Hyderabad, was named Telangana. The Act also mentioned that for the next 10 years, until 2nd June 2024, Hyderabad would act as the common capital, joint capital for both Telangana and Andhra Pradesh. After this period, Hyderabad would only be considered the capital of Telangana, and Andhra Pradesh would have to declare a new capital for itself. According to this act, the 3rd of June 2024 marks the end of Hyderabad's status as the joint capital. This has led to confusion in the public domain regarding the capital of Andhra Pradesh, with some considering Amaravati as the real capital. So the question arises, what will be the real capital of Andhra Pradesh after 2nd June? Hyderabad, Amaravati, or somewhere else? Looking at the timeline so far, two viable plans have been formulated to solve this capital problem. One is the Chandrababu plan, also known as the Amaravati plan. The other is the Jagan Mohan Reddy plan, also known as the Three Capital Plan. The first plan was proposed by the then Chief Minister of Andhra Pradesh, Chandrababu Naidu, according to which Amaravati was decided to be the new capital of Andhra Pradesh. The second plan was presented by Y.S. Jagan Mohan Reddy, who succeeded Mr. Naidu as the Chief Minister, according to which the state should not have one but three capitals. Let's understand what these two plans are. But before that, some of you might be wondering why a state like Andhra, or for that matter any state, needs to designate a capital for itself. There are several reasons for this. Generally, the capital is the place where the main offices of all the legislative, executive and judicial branches of the state are located, streamlining the decision-making process. Similarly, the capital is the symbol of unity and identity of the state, where major state events are organized. Friends, right after the bifurcation of Andhra Pradesh in 2014, when the assembly elections were held in Andhra Pradesh, the TDP, Telugu Desam Party, 106 out of the 175 seats and formed the government. After forming the government, the Chief Minister N. Chandrababu Naidu announced that he would make Amaravati, covering the areas of Vijayawada, Guntur, Tenali and Mangalagiri, the new capital. For this, the government shortlisted 29 villages and started the land acquisition process. According to the official estimate, the government finalized a total land area of 33,000 acres, which falls in the Guntur and NTR districts. Then, on October 22, 2015, Prime Minister Modi came to lay the foundation stone for this project. Chandrababu Naidu said that he would develop this 33,000 acre area near the Krishna River, a greenfield capital city that would be the engine of the state's economic growth. Everyone thought that after the joint capital provision mentioned in the Andhra Pradesh Reorganisation Act ends in 2024, Amaravati would be designated as the new state capital. However, the story took a major twist when, in 2019 state elections, the Jagan Mohan Reddy-led YSRCP won 151 seats, pushing TDP out of power. Upon coming to power, Jagan Mohan Reddy showed the red light to Chandrababu Naidu's Amaravati plan and put it on hold. To fulfill the state's capital needs, he proposed the idea of decentralized development. Reddy believed that developing a mega capital in one city or area might neglect the interests of other regions in the state. He did not want all the state's financial resources to be utilized for developing just one particular area. He also mentioned that due to the previous regime's bad policies and maladministration, the state was on the brink of bankruptcy. In such a situation, the state did not have the required financial backing or resources or means to convert the 33,000 acre Amaravati area into a greenfield city. To turn his idea into reality, his government introduced the Andhra Pradesh Decentralization and Equal Development of All Regions Bill in January 2020. Under this bill, Amaravati was designated as the legislative capital, Visakhapatnam as the executive capital, and Kurnool as the judicial capital. Some sources say that initially Mr. Reddy planned to make Visakhapatnam or Vizag the state capital, Mangalagiri the legislative capital, and Kurnool the judicial capital. Reddy's logic behind making Vizag the capital was that it's a cosmopolitan city with a well-developed administrative infrastructure. By shifting capital to Vizag, the government wouldn't have to spend much or mobilize many resources. However, since the previous TDP government had already declared Amaravati as the capital, he felt that sidelining Amaravati completely might lead to a public outrage in important electoral regions like Guntur. So after some time, he dropped this idea. Nonetheless, Mr. Reddy moved forward with his Amaravati, Visakhapatnam and Kurnool based three capital plan. But as soon as this plan became official, thousands of farmers from Guntur district who had handed over their lands to the government for the Amaravati plan during the TDP regime took to the streets. When the TDP acquired land from 29 villages to develop Amaravati, they promised that the government would turn this region into a financial hub like Hyderabad and give a small portion of developed land back to the farmers after the project was completed. This is why those farmers were unhappy with Mr. Reddy's decision and started protesting. To systematically advance their protest, these farmers formed an organization called Rajdhani Raitu Parirakshana Samiti and took the matter to the Andhra Pradesh High Court. On March 3, 2022, the High Court stated that since the YSRCP government couldn't present any legislative competence for not making Amaravati the capital, they must proceed with the previously proposed Amaravati plan and develop the city within 6 months. The matter was then challenged before the Supreme Court. Supreme Court said High Court should not have asked for completion of this project within 6 months. But nonetheless, the matter is pending before the Supreme Court. Currently, the voting is ongoing in Andhra Pradesh for 25 Lok Sabha and 175 Assembly constituencies, with the counting to be held on the June 4. On one side, the TDP says that if they come to power, they will ensure that Amaravati becomes the state capital. On the other hand, Jagan Mohan Reddy has proclaimed in his election campaigns that Vizag will be the administrative capital, and if he wins and forms the government again, he will host a swearing-in ceremony in Visakhapatnam. Meanwhile, in the neighboring state, Telangana, the Bharatiya Rashtriya Samiti, led by K. Chandrasekhar Rao, claims that if BJP comes to power at the center, they may amend the Andhra Pradesh Reorganisation Act of 2014 and make Hyderabad a union territory like Chandigarh. This would mean that Andhra and Telangana, like Punjab and Haryana, would have to share a common capital till the end of time. However, the BJP calls these claims false and baseless. BJP spokesperson Prakash Javadekar says that BJP has always considered Hyderabad as the permanent capital of Telangana and is totally against the union territory idea. Amidst these claims and counterclaims, we must understand which of these plans and projections is the best and most viable option for Andhra Pradesh. Friends, let's first discuss option number 1, the Amaravati plan, which was first proposed in 2014. Chandrababu Naidu's Amaravati plan appears to be a double-edged sword. The biggest plus point of making Amaravati the capital is that the government can build a world-class city in Andhra similar to the other rapidly developing states. This city would compete with other mega cities in India and the world, creating additional employment opportunities and new economic activities. Additionally, because Amaravati is almost in the center of the state, it can be more easily connected to other regions, helping less developed areas grow more quickly. However, Naidu's move could also be a high-risk, high-reward bet. There are 3 main reasons for this. First, an estimate suggests that developing Amaravati will require the government to spend approximately 1.09 lakh crore rupees, which could make the financial health of a high-debt state completely unstable in the long run. Second, in India and other parts of the world, most greenfield projects of Amaravati's scale have turned out to be catastrophic failures. Third, developing Amaravati could significantly damage the region's biodiversity. For years, this area between Guntur and Vijayawada has been known for its immense agricultural output and rich forest area. The Krishna River, which flows here during the monsoon season, prevents flooding in the state's inner region. Developing Amaravati could bring new environmental challenges. The second viable option is the Jagan Mohan Reddy's three capital plan. From a purely idealistic urban development perspective, Reddy's plan seems better than developing Amaravati. It doesn't require the government to bear additional financial liabilities, nor does it create new environmental concerns or challenges. Having three capitals could make the government's working efficiency better and smoother. These three cities are already connected by well-developed road infrastructure, making resource movement hassle-free for the government. Developing Vizag as an executive capital could lead to significant economic growth for this port and industrial city. However, this plan also has some weak spots. First, making Kurnool the judicial capital would require the government to shift its entire legal infrastructure almost 400 kilometers from Amaravati, as the Andhra Pradesh High Court is currently in Amaravati. Second, some people believe that having three capitals could create confusion in the state's current administrative structure, making governance a Herculean task. While these three cities are connected, the distance between them is not just 100 to 50 kilometers, but 600 to 700 kilometers. Third, and perhaps the most debatable weak spot of this plan, is what will happen to the farmers of Amaravati. The government has already made some promises to them, and they handed over their land to the government based on trust. So whether Mr. Reddy likes it or not, he will have to develop Amaravati. A lot of money has already been invested in the region during the TDP regime. So halting the development process purely for political reasons doesn't seem like a smart move. So what could be the solution to this complicated situation? Considering all the financial, geographical and social factors of Andhra Pradesh, it seems that the state cannot move forward with Naidu's Amaravati plan, nor with Mr. Reddy's three capital plan. The best option for the state would be to proceed with a single capital instead of the three state capital jigsaw puzzle. But this one capital should not be Amaravati but Visakhapatnam, also known as Vizag. Despite Vizag being cyclone prone and located at the southern end of the state, it is currently one of Andhra Pradesh's largest and fastest growing cities. It has the required infrastructure for this new venture and an airport, an international port to connect with the global economy. Making Vizag the capital would bring a much needed economic push to the state. The beaches and Araku Valley based hill stations in Vizag could also serve as additional tourism sources, injecting massive revenue into the state's GDP. Many island nations have their capitals on their extreme shores. Removing geographical factors, Vizag appears to be the most viable option for capital at this time. However, the future of Andhra Pradesh and which city will be the new capital will likely be revealed after June 4, when the state assembly election results come in. Economist and author Parakala Prabhakar claims in his documentary Capital Tragedy Amaravati that while Chandrababu Naidu sold the people of Andhra a dream called Amaravati for his benefit, Jagan Mohan Reddy shattered this dream to fulfill his agendas. As a result, Andhra Pradesh still needs a clear capital. The capital issue in Andhra has become so complex that some people compare it to the Schrodinger's hypothetical cat, which is simultaneously dead and alive. Locals believe that capital issue has become a tool for political parties in Andhra Pradesh to win elections. By politicizing this issue, they're trying to serve their interests. What is your opinion on this matter? Especially for those who belong to Andhra Pradesh. What do you think? What should be the next capital of the state? Amaravati, Vizag, or somewhere else? Please let us know in the comment section. With this, we end our video. Jai Hind.
Unacademy. Let's crack it.